Those of you who have asked me to rant about books 3 and 4, well, that's probably not happening. I just don't see the point.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. It's simple, really.
I lied.
The Legend of Korra, Book 3. Some people say it's the good one. They
Lied.
Alright, hey, I haven't watched this book since, gosh, before I started the channel. Man, I shouldn't have done that. So maybe book 3's better than I remember. It is called Change, and after those first 2 books, yeah, I could go for some change. Korra agrees.
Things will never be the same again. We are entering a new age.
But is it a new age of better writing and narrative construction? Is it what fans of Avatar The Last Airbender like myself really wanted to see?
This is a disaster.
Well, let's pretend I'm not intensely prejudiced.
I'm never.
So how's about you pull up a chair with your old Uncle Lar and we'll find out. Where do you think you're going, Junior? Sit down. We're doing this. Oh, I remember these. The aliens. Because Bright dumped the animal motif and decided we're suddenly spirited away now.
極めて何か生命に対する侮辱を感じます。
And any alien can exist here materially in the physical realm because Korra deliberately left the spirit portals open. Because there are goddamn portals now that you can physically walk through. Because now the spirit world isn't another plane of the physical world or an extension of nature, but a separate, equally material world full of fucking Pokemon. Alright, pump the brakes, ER. That shit's all on book 2. I hate the portals. They just destroy the fundamental concept of the spirit world. Just fly an airship into it. But the damage is already done. Let's ignore all that stuff in the past and give book 3 a chance.
Come back, Boomju! No!
This here is Boomi, Aang's eldest son and Tenzin's brother. Now, it's important to note here that Boomi is a non-bender.
Boomju, I'm running out of tree!
Hey, a little Avatar trivia for you. Airbenders used to be unique in that they could only produce airbender progeny. Until, of course, the Legend of Korra. Shame, because it would have been a real handy feature for the last airbender if he was concerned about his people continuing. But not to worry, Aang, you fucking Nazi. We got some even bigger bullshit in store. So, Boomi dies. Except... And Boomi's your uncle, and now an airbender.
Look! I'm airbending!
I can airbend? I can airbend!
Giant light beams and airbenders. I think I got Midnight Sun madness.
But ER, don't benders have to be born with the corresponding chi pathways to bend their element? Well, yes, you clever and inquisitive son of a bitch. Yes, they would. In Avatar, either you come out the Ute chute a bender, or you don't. End of story. Or, well, that used to be the end of it, but this is the new age. This is all thanks to that little cosmic shindig called harmonic convergence. Because Korra left the portals open to soak up all its extra energy, the universe, feeling a bit unbalanced, has hard reset the world to fix the bender to nation ratio a bit. But I thought only the Avatar could bring balance to the world. Now the universe is stepping in all on its own? Yeah, I know, right? Tenzin would have had you believe it was the Avatar in the intro to every episode.
Only the Avatar can master all 4 elements and bring balance to the world.
But it's the new age. Now the universe can just reach in and tweak whatever it wants because of a system-wide planetary alignment that only occurs once every 10,000 years. At least it's a pretty special occasion. Really, it was supremely fortunate for the air nomads that the 100-Year War ended right on the cusp of convergence. Else their people might have died out for a good 10,000 years. Talk about luck.
You could call it luck, or you could call it...
Well, except this does nothing to help restore the air nomads as a people per se. Randos from all nations, or maybe just the Earth Kingdom, have suddenly been blessed with the inherent ability to airbend, yes. But they have no blood linking them to Aang, Tenzin, or any of the airbenders genocided by Sozin. Aside from Boomi, of course. So really, harmonic convergence found it more prudent to restore the ability of airbending itself to the world, rather than help Tenzin go all Genghis Khan on it.
Clearly, the only thing you respond to is force!
He could do it too. Unlike his dad's seed, Tenzin's actually works right.
All I want is one child like me, a nice non-bender who doesn't blast wind in my face every 5 seconds.
I really do not like the idea of magicking more airbenders into the setting. It's just so wrong in a smorgasbord of ways. For one thing, this magic airbending is absolutely as much of a deus ex machina as energy bending was, only opportunely stapled to the convergence garbage from the last book, so it's even worse. Not once was it suggested that harmonic convergence played bending bingo in that book, but suddenly it sure does now. Yippee! For another thing, all this hocus pocus kinda undermines the weight of the air nomad genocide. It doesn't undo any of it, of course, those people were killed and they're gone for good, but it used to be that with them they'd also taken the Sky Bison's ancient psychic art of airbending. Aang used to be all they had left to pass that on, the last airbender. Then that fell to Tenzin and his family. It would take who knows how many generations to restore the Air Nation, if they can manage it at all. That's the weight I'm talking about, a heavy consequence of one of the most malicious acts the world had ever seen, scarring it for uncountable years to come. Well, forget that! Now airbending is just a superpower the universe can plop into anybody if the writers really needed to. It's not something you need to cultivate over time and through many people. It's not even derived from the Sky Bison at all. It's a gimmick.
Look! I'm airbending!
In this brave new age, airbending has almost nothing to do with the air nomads as it can join people and their generational sacrifices to preserve airbending tradition. It's now a lottery.
I won the money!
You get to be an airbender, you get to be an airbender, anyone can be an airbender.
You know, just because these people can airbend, it doesn't automatically make them air nomads.
That's pretty racist, Pema. That said, I don't think all these airbending lotto winners were truly chosen at random. There do appear to be some prerequisites in place, such as only non-benders can receive the gift, or at least that's all we're shown. It also appears as if only Earth Kingdom citizens can get it.
Aside from Boomi, of course.
Which is a bit strange, given how, as a people, they should be the most disinclined to the ways of airbending, since it's the opposite element to earthbending.
That's why it's so hard for you to get this. You're working with your natural opposite.
But the universe looks like it's playing favorites too. Boomi is the son of the last airbender in the Avatar. Of all the people in the world, Boomi doesn't seem like an arbitrary choice. Our book's antagonist, Sahir, is the devout fanboy of the Air Nomad monks, who earnestly likes being bald. I'm thinking this didn't escape the eye of the universe. There's one other air acolyte nerd who must have gotten a pity draw too. But then you see the rest of the new airbenders throughout the book, and
I got nothing.
I'm putting way more thought into this than the writers did, sadly. That'll be this whole video series. I just can't believe they hit a universe reset button on airbending. How do you disrespect your own world building this shamelessly? Well, it is the post-Wan age after all. Let's move on. While Boomi's upending things, Korra's trying to get rid of this R34 bait left behind by the Dark Avatar. Oh yeah, hey, remember that this show did the Dark Avatar thing?
After fusing with Vaatu, Unalaq became a Dark Avatar and ripped Korra and Rava apart.
I wrote fan fiction about the Dark Avatar as a child. I thought that was embarrassing. And let's not forget Rava. Remember Rava?
I am the force of light and peace.
Vaatu killed her in the last book, severing the Avatar's connection to their past lives, and apparently even future lives, forever. But no biggie, at least Rava came right on back, toot sweet. But I do seem to remember Rava saying to Wan,
even if Vaatu wins, you'll come back.
Yes, but you will probably not survive to see it. Darkness will cover the earth for 10,000 years.
10,000 years of darkness begins.
Rava!
Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out!
Good writing. Great writing. So Korra and Rava are finally on speaking terms now, right? Because seriously, how could they not be?
Don't interfere with me again, human!
Sorry folks, no Rava in this book. It's almost like she was purposefully created for a pretty specific plot line. Now that it's done and over with, back into her teapot she goes. Breika's already kept her bottled up a long while after all. Like how they claim they had the idea for her during Avatar Book 2 but couldn't find a place to put her. Except directly after Book 2, there's the game, Escape from the Spirit World, about Aang fixing his Avatar spirit. You know, Rava? Or else he'll lose his connection to his past lives. But oh, would you look at that? No Rava.
You haven't seen my carpet round, have you?
Not even a brief mention or a hint of her. A little sus, senpais.
You don't even know who I am, do you?
Should I?
Well, she's in Korra's chest cavity somewhere, but we gotta wait until the next book for the writers to just barely address that. And I'm definitely not talking about that book.
Ooh, ER!
What?
Well, doesn't this mean Korra is also harboring Vaatu now?
That's... oh god. You're right. She has to be. That's the rule. You can't have peace and light without chaos and darkness.
He cannot destroy light any more than I can destroy darkness. One cannot exist without the other.
So Korra's not just part light spirit now. She's part Satan. Well, I've been saying that for years, but here it's actually canon.
Darkness will grow inside me until he emerges again.
Sure sucks for those future avatars who will have no idea because they have no connection to their past lives. Have fun dealing with that all on your own, you pitiful schmucks.
Why didn't you tell us?
Oh, right, so I guess that's my fault too.
Guess this really does make Korra bisexual.
Vaatu, I missed you. Where have you been?
I have always been inside of you.
Right, the spirit vines. If only the Avatar could radio up those swamp fellers, they'd get the job done. Fuck, that's right, there are radios now.
Ugh! I can vanquish Vaatu, but not a bunch of stupid vines?
Vanquished? Oh dear. Some poor future Avatar really is gonna get one hell of a surprise. And if Rob is any indication, we don't really know how fast Vaatu's regeneration will be. Could take the full 10,000 years, could be 5 minutes from now.
I'm back, bitches!
At least he doesn't seem like he's affecting our girl here. New Age Korra sounds just like the Korra of Whorra.
Stupid vines?
Back up! Back up! Gun!
Korra then goes to a press conference to tell everyone the vines won't die. They just come back as TikToks.
Are you concerned that your approval ratings are now nearly as low as the Avatars?
Oof, bruh, just resign at that point. You're done in this city.
We need to lock down this city.
Why are you forcing the integration of spirits in Republic City?
Listen, I've been trying everything I can think of to get rid of these vines.
No, I'm with the Journo scum for once. Answer the fucking question.
Why can't you fix this?
Is this part of your New World Order?
Look!
The Avatar has put us all in a very difficult position.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I put you in a difficult position?
Last time I checked.
By fighting the pure evil that was going to destroy the whole world?
You snarky shit, you did put them in a difficult position. It was you who opened the spirit portals to let in Vaatu, the incarnation of chaos and darkness, exactly as he wanted. It was you who didn't seal the portals again before or after the Dark Avatar let loose and hurt people. Even after Wan showed you a world in which free spirits devastated humanity.
So that is why I've decided to keep the portals open.
It was your poor ass decisions that got people killed. And not just soldiers, civilians too, who surely got wrecked by the airship dropped in the middle of the city. That's on you, Missy. But we're gonna skip over all of that because you're the Avatar.
Maybe your administration could have handled that.
Screw you, you self-righteous cunt. Sorry. Back to the new age.
This is a disaster.
Yes!
Don't worry, we'll figure something out.
Easy for you to say. You don't have my poll numbers. 8% approval? Who were they asking?
Yes, that would be me. They were asking me. Next, Korra tries out driving for the first time, and she's not very good at it. No Korra-Sue here. Then again, she's never been good at manually handling sticks. And here we get the first character-focused interaction between Korra and Asami in the entire fucking series. Yay! Alas, it does not pass the Bechdel test. What? Flunks it pretty damn hard, in fact. All they talk about is their god-awful soap opera relationship with Mako.
I mean, I kissed Mako when he was going out with you, so...
You what?
I'm so sorry. I thought you knew.
I'm just kidding. I knew a long time ago.
Well, whatever happened with Mako, I'm glad it hasn't come between us.
I'm with Asami.
Yeah, but when you're with her, you're thinking about me, aren't you? I've never had a girlfriend to hang out with and talk to before.
I wonder why, you duplicitous little whore. And that's it. That's all they need to pretend these two haven't spent the last 2 books stabbing each other relentlessly in the back. The Makora-Masami love triangle is swept under the rug so these ladies can start munching it. Unfortunately, this is also their last character-focused interaction until the end of the book. Yeah. I mean, they do talk to each other in this book, which is really more than I can say about the first 2.
Sorry, I have to talk to Varric.
Me too. Me too.
But it's still only utilitarian dialogue meant to advance the plot. Nothing about, each other.
Nice work. Now let's take control of this ship.
Because they sure ain't doing much for their ship. I can see why Korrasami stands are so thirsty. They're fucking dehydrated. There's 0 romance for Korra in this book. A welcome change after 2 books of fanfiction tier shipping melodrama.
Can we deal with our relationship problems later?
Well, there might not be any relationship to worry about later.
Thank God.
Now, you might be tempted to believe that this was Bryke and the writers learning from their mistakes after Book 2, but the timeline doesn't really support that idea. Books 2 and 3 were primarily produced alongside each other, with the team beginning storyboarding for Book 4 before they'd finished Book 2. It's very improbable Bryke made the decision to strike romance from Book 3 because of any fan response to Book 2. So then, why? Well, according to the creators, they just wanted to focus on Korra and Asami becoming friends.
Now we were more interested in like Korra and Asami just kind of like getting over that, and through that process actually becoming friends and just exploring that.
That's nice and all, but again, I can't really stress enough how Korra and Asami's relationship within this book is almost strictly nuts and bolts, with no more friendly banter or discussion or much of any conversation between the two at all. They do get some TLC at the very end.
I want you to know that I'm here for you.
Whoa, ladies, there are kids watching. Nah, I'm kidding. No, they weren't. You'd think by largely ignoring romance, except a little something for a couple other characters, the writers could then focus on friendship building. But it ain't really a surprise that they don't. With the semi-contained nature of these books, the overcomplicated plot for this one, and its enormous roster of main characters, there's just way too much going on for these writers to juggle for a mere 13 episodes. Still, it is a little pathetic. The Last Airbender can afford to send these two girls to the spa for a few minutes and build each other up, but Korra Book 3 can't let these two have a heart-to-heart about anything but Mako.
Way cooler than a makeover.
Damn fucking straight.
Were I the writers, I would have approached this much differently, obviously. For example, the most interesting facet of Katara and Toph's friendship is that they weren't actually very compatible people. They were highly contrasting personalities who clashed quite a lot.
Stop being such a sourpuss and just lighten up? Oh, I'm sorry. You think I should be more like you?
But of course, you've seen the show, they persevered through their squabbles and were ultimately stronger friends for it.
You're at least fun to argue with.
So if I were writing Korra and Asami as friends, two young ladies who have treated each other practically like enemies up until this point, I definitely wouldn't have them getting along right away. I would make them rightly angry, even to test the other. But over the course of the book, they would help each other, find things to like about each other, and by the end, they would find they're stronger together than apart.
If you only knew the power
of friendship. On the episode commentary track, Mike and Brian and the art director praised this scene because these girls tease each other and brush off their Mako whoring like it's nothing.
You know, they weren't petty about
I like that they kind of like mess with each other too a little bit.
To be fair, Bryke ain't credited with writing this ep, but fellas.
Been feeling really confused and
You what?
When you insult or wrong someone, there's generally at least some level of resentment that should be confronted in a narrative. By just having them yuck it up here, you're skipping a prime chance to characterize these two in the furthering of their relationship. Hell, Toph up and left the gang after only one episode with them, over an argument with Ang Katara. It took Uncle Iroh in his infinite wisdom to cajole her back to them. Because, you know, emotions, reactions, remember those? Together in this book, Korra and Asami still don't seem capable of that kind of emotional range, much less anything more. But what do I know? Korrasami for the win, am I right, ladies? Maybe add a couple more paragraphs to that Reddit post about it totally being a thing the whole time. That'll convince us.
A rocky relationship. Not bad.
Anyway, getting back to Korra's most sterile book, she continues to fail at removing the spirit vines by almost causing Vine 11. It would have been an inside job, but now the spirit world isn't really the inside of the physical world anymore. I just can't let that go. What the fuck were they thinking? Afterward, Korra finally has her one moment of self-reflection about all this.
I know the people's point of view. It's bad.
Yes, because it is.
Look what you did!
Tenzin, unfortunately, goes on her terrible judgment by admitting he's very biased.
On the other hand, some people will be very happy, like me. What you did during harmonic convergence may have brought back the Air Nation. That is the act of a great avatar.
Laying it on a little thick, ain't you, brother? But if you admit it was harmonic convergence that reinstalled the airbenders, then you know you ain't getting no more. So wrap it up, boys, we're done. Korra can go ahead and close those stupid portals now. You know, before they lead to more spirit wildlands in the city. Like how they spread like an infection in Wan's era and forced humankind to hide out in the ancient lion turtles. Even the airbenders who got along with the spirits, the wilds were just that dangerous. The writer of this first episode of Book 3, Tim Hendrick, also wrote Beginnings Part 2, the one where Wan deported even his spirit buddies over this shit. Wan was smarter than Korra about this. Let that sink in. Well, self-reflection over because Korra is distracted by the new airbenders popping up around the city. She manages to save one, but President Raiko is fed up with all these new problems.
We have a crisis every other day now, thanks to you.
Listen, I know you're having a tough time getting used to these changes, and I'm sorry for that. But you and everyone else are gonna have to learn to live with it. The vines and the spirits are here to stay.
Straight up, she's already abandoning the giant vine infestation that's uprooted, who knows how many people's lives. It's bizarre, really, that the writers go out of their way to present a pretty negative fallout of Korra's decision to leave the portals open, and they just don't resolve it, and then abandon it.
Learn to live with it.
8% is too damn high. In fact, Korra abandons Republic City altogether.
I order you to leave this city. You've caused nothing but trouble since you arrived.
He's right.
Don't worry, I was already leaving.
Bye! Bye-bye! So Korra, Tenzin, and Team Avatar head out to rebuild the Air Nation. Fuck you, people!
Because I don't care.
Well, we are leaving the huge bumbling mistake that is Republic City, so we can only go up from here, right? Right?